Before we start the video, there's a few things I want to say. First of all, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers! It's been an amazing ride so far, and I hope we can reach even more people in the future. Second of all, this update does not contain a new build. The main reasons will be talked about later in the video, but I thought I might as well give you a heads up. And lastly, this video will have 3 parts. What have we done in the month, questions and answers, and some updates about me and my husband. Update videos will be made at the end of every month, so you can take this update as the March update. With that said, let's go! Over the last month, a lot of stuff has happened, in both my personal life and the game life. So today I wanted to talk to you about the things the team has to offer so far for March. The team is divided by 11 teams. 1. The voice acting team. 2. The sound design team. 3. The music team. 4. The Chibi art team. 5. The anime art team. 6. The animation team. 7. The background art team. 8. The 3D modeling team. 9. The programming team. 10. The writing team. And 11. The editing team. To briefly summarize the teams, the voice acting team are the group of people who will be voicing the characters. The VAs can share their knowledge, views on each character, opinions on how to interpret them, and overall just help each other while making the voices sound a lot more natural. Our current members are FinnThePony, TakaraPOV, Yumi, BrianaLee, Megan Souza, RachelVA 86, and Sprinkletale. The sound design team makes sure everything is working in the video editing process when it comes to animatics and animations. They also provide sounds for in-game assets such as steps on the ground or suspense background sounds. Our current member is RachelVA 86. The music team is in charge of the music for the game. They will make leitmotifs for characters, situations, and overall carry the emotionality of the game through the music. Our current members are Fumi and Specjam. The Chibi art team designs the characters that will be seen more in-game. Most characters you will see during gameplay will be shown in the Chibi style, and most of the complex animations will be made in this style too. The Chibi art team needs to make sure the chibis being designed can be simplified for animation. Our current members are Jing, Maullex, and IsmeValentina. The anime art team makes renders of the characters, making sure they have all the more specific details the Chibi art can't have because of the simplicity. The game is divided into emotionally driven sections, the funny moments and the serious moments. The anime style will be used for more serious moments, while the Chibi style will be used for more hilarious moments, such as the killing animations. There will be moments where you will see fully illustrated cutscenes. In these moments, the anime art style will be used as still images more than animation itself to keep the quality while giving less work for the anime team and the animation team. Our current members are Sunny, R0t Friend, and Fumi. The animation team makes the Chibi animations for the sprites, killing animations, game overs, and other things related to the overall movement of the characters. They have to create systems for each other and share rigging models to copy animations into other characters, which makes the overall process a lot simpler. Their main program is Tune Boom Harmony, and our current members are Maullex and IsmeValentina. Jing helps too every now and then, since he knows a lot of the chibi designs very well. The background art team is a team that draws and designs the backgrounds for the game. They have amazing abilities with perspective tools, and they need to design the color palettes to fit well with the character designs. Our current member is 2X Smiles. The 3D modeling team is in charge of background item models such as shelves. The game has mostly 2D sprites, but since the characters are walking around in a 3D environment, we need some things to be 3D, such as walls and furniture. Our current member is IsmeValentina. The programming team is in charge of, well, the programming of the game. The developers need to keep everything well organized, with a clean code, and have solution thinking abilities for shortcomings and bugs. Our current team is Mostafa and PinkCat. Someone else used to be here, but they are no longer in the team. The writing team is in charge of writing the dialogue, the story, the animatics, and designing the written arcs of the characters. It's also in charge of the backstories and pretty much knowing everything about the character in this story. The team is mostly me, but I get the help from LoverBoy to organize things such as the GTD for the game. And finally, the editing team, which helps me edit videos for my YouTube channel mostly, but I will eventually assign them things relating to the game, such as the animatics. In this team, we have mostly Brian and only one wolf, but other people help every now and then, such as TakaraPOV, Jing, LoverBoy, PinkCat, and myself. Of course, there's the director's team, but that's mostly me with the help of everyone. As the director and producer for the game, I have to direct all 11 teams towards the completion of the game or project at hand, managing the legal aspects of the game, although that's mostly PinkCat. Write the story details, including characters, tone, comedy, and overall everything the story and characters are, think, and say. Show the idea to the team, hearing feedback, and adapting to upcoming challenges. Have solution thinking abilities. Have the ability of solving conflicts between the members in case a conflict happens. Think of the promotional material for the game. Cut content in case it exceeds the current limitations of the team. Create concept designs for UI, gameplay mechanics, and more. Assigning roles to people and finding new people for the project. And, of course, in case one or more members are unable or having problems, I need to step in and help them, find someone to fill their role until they are back, do their work to keep advancing on the project, or find a solution to keep things moving along. For example, if the background artist is having trouble conceptualizing a certain background, I will give them more examples of what I want them to draw. If they still have problems, I may draw a basic concept of what I want for the background, some color palettes I have in mind, and explain to them what I need them to do until they understand. If the background artist needs something more specific to work with, or they can't do the work at the moment and I can't do it either, someone else may be called from the team itself, or a new member may join to help them get the work done. This is an example, of course, but it is a part of my responsibilities as a director and producer. A lot of these things do have a lot to do with communication, which is something I need to keep working on to make sure I can be clear as I can. I think this is enough of an explanation for the current teams and how they work, but before I can properly talk about what we've done so far, I need to give some sad news. One of the programmers, Katya, is no longer in the project. The reasons are private, but I will say that me, the team, and Katya ended up on good terms, and we wish nothing but the best with one another. Katya leaving the programming team did slow down the programming part of the game, and having people adapting to the already made work is going to take some time. So for now, there won't be a second build until the programmers, PinkCat and Mostafa, feel confident with the current workload at hand. With that said, let's begin! From the anime and Chibi art team, we have a few redesigns for the characters. This is Mei Kawa's new form. The redesign itself was done by R0t Friend, and the Chibi style sketch was made by Jing. I wanted to make Mei a bit more unique from her original design, so I feel we may change a few things a bit. I also made this cute print of Mei too, so yeah, I really like how she looks now. She also has a cute pink purse with a panda pin, and I think it's very beautiful. Moving on, we have the boy, Hisoka Luarca. Not much to say about him right now, since we want to have a few more renders of him before calling him complete. This render was made by Sunny. We have the male student anime render made by Fumi, and the chibi counterpart made by Jing. We decided to change the bows from the male characters, so now most male characters have a tie and female characters have a bow. The only ones who break this trend are Mei with a bow lower in the uniform and a flower necklace, Fumeko with a tie, and somewhat Hisoka with an unorganized tie, meant to reflect his lack of self-care. Like I said, we are still seeing what to do with Hisoka, since I want the characters to be as unique as possible. But for now, I think they look amazing. Male students are the counterpart to female students, and they are supposed to be the standard design for the uniforms and students in the game. We are organizing a file to have all the renders together and have a standard for file sizes for the game and such. but that may take some time, and we may have to do it after me and my husband move houses. So I'd say that's about it for the characters we know and love. So now, let me present to you new characters! These characters are faculty members, and will be used as characters who you can't kill and you have to respect as authority figures. The first one is the Hall Monitor. This character was designed by Jing, and his role will be monitoring the halls and places with a heavy student population. He will have a different role in True Ending, but that's more of a story role than a gameplay role. His gameplay role will shine most in a regular gameplay. During the game, you can skip class. However, you should be worried about the hall monitor chasing you, since if he catches you, you will be forced back into the class. You need to be particularly worried about him if you want to carry a corpse out of the school during class time, since if he catches you, he will apprehend you. If he sees you bloody, stressed out, or both, he will take you to the nursery room, where you will be laid down and get cleaned up or calmed down depending on the situation. Time will be skipped an entire block, so if you were in the first class time, you will be skipped to the next class time, meaning you lost your lunch time. I'll talk about the nurse character in a bit, but the nurse does let you go in class time without checking if you arrived at the classroom, so you can escape again. Just remember that if the hall monitor catches you around this time, you won't have enough time to hide the body. I think it's worth mentioning that if you are in the before school block and you get sent to the nurse office, you will appear at lunchtime. At the same time, if you get sent to the nurse office at lunch, you will spawn at after school time. You can also rest at the nurse office to clean yourself up by the nurse or calm your stress faster. But you will lose an entire block of time, and there will be other ways for you to calm yourself or get clean besides the nurse's office. As for his personality, I'd say he's more of the kind of person who cares about everyone around him, even if at times he can be quite harsh with the punishment. He believes everyone needs a bit of help to be their best self, even if that helps includes tough love. So yeah, he's pretty much a dad. Talking about the nurse and janitor, let me present to you Larry. So yeah, he is both the nurse and the janitor. He was designed by Maullex. His role is simple. He cleans up the messes in the school, so he will walk around areas that aren't that common for students to be around. As a nurse, he also will take care of the player if they come bloody or stressed out. His deal is simple. He is an early 20-something who thought he could eat the world, but now has to work double as both a nurse and a janitor for the school. He doesn't really like spending time with teenagers, and more often than not, he is just annoyed at Fumeko. If he finds blood on school grounds, he will let the hall monitor know, and he will call the police. When this happens, Larry will go away to keep cleaning and ignore the blood, and the hall monitor will keep an eye for anyone in the area. You can clean up the blood by distracting him, but it will cause him to become worried for someone cleaning up stuff like this, so he will be less forgiving to the player by having a larger range of sight. Larry has a higher trust on the hall monitor more than anyone else from the faculty member, so if the hall monitor is away, you can have some time before anyone else arrives to clean the blood. After that, it'll be as if nothing happened. Now you may be thinking, what would happen if you don't clean up the blood? Well, the truth is that at the beginning of the game there is already a corpse at school. So if the police find a single hint that there may be a murder at the school, they will find the corpse and they will take the culprit away. In this case, Hisoka. So yeah, Hisoka is a murderer too. Kinda makes sense why Fumeko would like him actually. If the police are caught but there's no clear evidence suggesting there's a murder in the school, they will just assume it was a prank call or a fake alarm, and they'll leave. So yeah, clean up the murder or get a game over. You kinda don't really have a choice to leave it like that, do you? You will have the ability to hide the corpses, but it won't last forever. There's still a few things I have to consider before making the hiding places official, and I do want to change a few things about the cleaning up for blood stuff. So some of these things may change in the future, but overall those are the current plans. When it comes to his nurse role, you can attempt to steal stuff from the nurse's office. You can't do much in his office, and as a nurse, he doesn't do much admittedly. He doesn't ask why you are bloody or insane, mostly because he doesn't care all that much about what happened to you. If he sees you bloody, he'll assume you fell down somewhere and got hurt, or Fumeko may just tell him a lie. The point is that he doesn't really care that much, and any lie is enough. He will be weirded out by you if he saw blood before, but he won't say that much. This lack of confidence can kick you out of true endings, so be careful with that. He will have a bigger role in true ending for story purposes, but gameplay-wise, that's all he does. He's just a grumpy dude going a job he hates because his parents kicked him out of the house. And no, chat, you can't fix him. We've been here before with Hiroshi. You cannot fix him. Anyways, the next character are the female teachers. They are the teachers for all of the classrooms, and they will apprehend you if they see you misbehaving, just like the hall monitor. They mostly take care of the classes, and just like everyone in the faculty, you can distract them. You can skip their class if they don't catch you, and you can also skip time with them with a cute little fun fact screen that gives interesting cultural facts about Chile. Not much else to say about them. Most of their functionality is the same as the hall monitor. They are kinder, but not much else. The female teachers were designed by Jing. Next, we have the cafeteria lady, designed by IsmeValentina. She will give the characters food at the cafeteria. Not much else to say about her, since she is kinda like the teachers but exclusively for the cafeteria. She can give you food, which can be used for small things in the game, such as throwing it to other characters to make them leave the area or to make Kawa herself. But you should probably worry about the hall monitor catching you. She is very sweet, and you can earn a bit of money by helping her out with the food. I don't want the game to have a money system, so you instead will earn an item that you can trade for something else, such as clothing or similar stuff. Outside of that, the rest of her purpose is lore focused, so that's it. Finally, we have the clothes lady, which has not yet been designed. She is someone who will appear at the entrance of the school selling clothing. This is something quite common in Chile, so I figure I might as well make a little nod to it. She can give you one school uniform in exchange for the cafeteria lady's money you get from the minigame. Outside of that, she's very calm, and she will be shown more in True Ending. That was a very long introduction for all the new characters, so let's move on to something else, shall we? Here are some background concepts for the entrance of the school made by 2X Smiles. I really like how it's turning out, and the overall theme for the aisles are weeping willows, a type of tree common in Chile. I just really like it for the metaphorical sense, and because I just really like those trees overall. Here is the background again from the camera perspective and the programming perspective drawn by me. Some stuff in the program itself for the background, the overall shape of the school on the first floor, and the first sketch of the entrance of the school. Yes, we wanted to have a camera at first, but that idea was discarded since it may be a bit too much. As you've heard from the video right now, the game already has a lot of things going for it, and I don't think a camera system will add too much to the game outside of making the killer process more difficult. That's it for backgrounds, so let's move to the animations. Here are the idols for female student and male student being in shock after seeing a dead body or a murder, made by IsmeValentina. Here are the running in fear sprites for female student and male student made by Moullex. Here are the piggyback rides for female and male student, both idle and walking made by Moullex. Here are male students and female students with a question mark over their heads because they saw something suspicious, and their walking animation towards something suspicious made by Moullex, and a small reference drawn by me. And finally, we have the male counterpart versions of male student walking and standing, made by Moullex. And all I have to say for all of them is that I'm so sorry, Moullex, for giving you so much work. You deserve the world. Seriously, go support both Moullex, Valentina, and everyone in the team by commissioning them or following them in their socials. Thank you. Here are also a few things about the models in Toon Boom animation and how they work behind the scenes. Next up is the sound design. For this, we have R0t 86 with the foot sounds, and Sprinkle with some original sounds for female student screams. Also, this is the original kill animation with sound design by R0t. Going on to the music, here are a few examples of Hiroshi's theme ideas by Specjump. Some ideas for Fumeko by Specjump. Some ideas for May by Specjump. Some ideas for the main menu music by Specjump and Fumi. Recreation minigame and Daylight Song by Specjump. And a theme for clothing shop idea by Fumi. In the programming department, I can't show much since we're still sorting stuff out, but here's some stuff you may like to see for organization purposes. PinkCat organized a GitHub for the both of them to work together in the game's programming, so yeah, for now we are still organizing the materials a bit. It's not ready yet. For the writing team, I was hoping I could read the story summary since I have that one almost ready, but I think that for time purposes, I will skip this one until the dialogues are ready. We are working on some organization documents for the entire team with LoverBoy's help, but for now, I don't think that stuff will be public. I will say that True Ending is explained in detail, and a lot of the minigames and story bits played in True Ending will also have their own usage in the sandbox styled gameplay. So knowing that will make it easier to know what content to cut in case it's too much for us, what content is essential, and what content makes HeartStrings a unique experience. For example, we were planning on having a different nurse character, but we may need another extra voice actress for her, and her role is very small in the story. So we figure Larry may fit that role good too, since the janitor character is not very seen in most of the gameplay anyways, unless you're searching for hidden places around school. Besides, the explanation being that Larry just needs another job and that job being the nurse who has to take care of teenagers just seems funny. There's also other stuff that I didn't know where to fit, so I'll call it concept art and extra content. I'll add notes to the video itself so you can read it better, but yeah, there's a lot. The voice acting team can't do much considering I'm still writing the dialogue pieces. The editing team is focusing on their side assignments, their own personal stuff, or they are focusing on my husband's channel, which will begin to upload videos more often. The 3D modeling team doesn't have tasks yet, and Valentina is focusing on the Chibi designs, concepts, and animations, so she will be busy for the time being. Those are all the updates for the teams. Now, let's move on to the questions and answers.
When can we expect a second playable build, and what improvements will it make?
We've been thinking on having a playable build at the end of April. However, that means we would have a build worth 2 months, and both PinkCat and Mostafa are still getting used to the infrastructure. So for now, it's going to be unstable. Still, I do want to make an update video at the end of every month, just to show the progress being made so far.
How long did it take to plan HeartStrings, and how long will development take?
The people who have known the story behind the game's original pitch to YouTube know that the concept itself pretty much took a few late-night hours. After that, I made the first video without expecting much, but it kinda blew up fast. The time after the concept was first uploaded to YouTube was extremely rough, but I managed to work a bit more on the characters and the story. However, this does mean that the original concept was kind of rushed, so I didn't have enough time to prepare myself until we found a stable place to stay. But now with that behind us, me, my husband, and the team have reached a more or less stable working time for the game. This means the work can be more controlled and we can have more realistic goals for ourselves. I do still think it's too early to say for a definitive roadmap, but I'm sticking with my last update video. The game will probably be ready in at least 3 to 5 years from now.
How will reception from the audience affect the game, and how has it affected you?
When it comes to the game, I mostly have a mind of sticking to what I know best. For example, I don't know 3D that much, so I promise 2D sprites since that's easier for me to work with. While a lot of ideas inspired by Yandere Simulator have been suggested, in reality a lot of them end up being rejected since the game I have in mind goes in a bit of a different direction than Yandere Simulator. I do still have a lot of things I took inspiration from, but there's a lot of things I wouldn't add to the game since I feel like they would be unnecessary for the complete experience, and, if anything, they would just be feature creep. Still, I don't like to close myself to ideas that may make the experience richer, so I do keep an eye out for suggestions and changes we may add to the game. The team itself suggests ideas all the time, and we often have discussions about what could or could not improve the game. While I am the director, the truth is that the team is essential to the game's development, and as such, they also have their own voice in the matter. As of how it has affected me, I feel like that's a topic for the third segment of the video. Sorry.
Has the lore changed during development?
Yes, it has, but the core of the characters has stayed more or less the same. The character I'd say has gone through the most changes is a rival, Kawa, and a lot of these changes come from thinking about the game from the perspective of the audience. While playing as a yandere girl may sound interesting, in reality, most of us aren't dangerous killers. Or at least I hope so. Anyways, the point is that most people would think twice before murdering a character who they may like more than the protagonist. To avoid this from happening, I had to use the original concept for Kawa as her facade, and make her a bit more complex than just a people pleaser. Now Kawa is way more interesting than her original concept. Hisoka has a bigger reason to develop a crush on her, and the game feels a lot more like a pleasant experience you may find surprising at some point. Another character I had to change a lot was Fumeko herself, since even though she's a murderer and a very cruel person, you also have to like her to some extent in order to play as her. For that, I gave Fumeko a backstory that would justify her current worldview, not only to herself, but to the player. It's difficult to balance something like that, since it would be easier to just make Fumeko the victim, or make Fumeko a mentally ill princess who doesn't know what she's doing, or make Fumeko's actions excusable. To be fair, there's a lot of traps you can fall into as a writer of these kinds of stories. It's difficult to make a story where you know the character is in the wrong, you know their actions are wrong, but you can understand it as long as you put yourself in the worldview, while still giving hints of this mindset being unjustifiable by normal view. One of the ways I have found to make her worldview more believable is that she lives in a group of isles that doesn't exist in real life. While this place isn't in war unlike stories like Arcane, I can get away with more stuff than if I set it in a real life place. In the isles the game takes place in, there's a particular isle called Belladonna Isle, which is known for having the Belladonna flower. While this place is richer in the physical medicine department, the mental health department is very lacking, since most people use the flower as a drug more than the proper medical usage. As such, Fumeko's childhood was very tragic, and the kids surrounding her were extremely cruel to an almost unbelievable level. This level of tragedy would not be as believed in any other place that wasn't fictional, but in the world of the game, you can believe this because it happens in a very specific circumstance where mental health for children and adults is not taken seriously, and while the physical injuries can be healed, the mental ones cannot so easily. As it is for now, Fumeko is a victim of harassment and isolation originated by home neglect and bullying after a traumatic event involving people under the effects of the Belladonna plant. This makes Fumeko become more violent and extreme, and when she is faced with bullying again, she snaps and kills her bully. This changes Fumeko's perception of the world around her, and she now stopped being a victim and became the monster. And she liked that sense of power. Over time, she stopped seeing people as people and more like background characters. She was stronger because she had the upper hand, because she was invincible. And besides, everyone around her is going to eat her alive if she doesn't fight for power, so it is a win-win situation to be powerful, isn't it? After some time, she wants a physical challenge, someone she can take down more harshly, and that's where she meets Hisoka at her new year of high school, and the game begins. With this, I've established a backstory that motivates the player to relate to some extent to Fumeko, making her actions seem somewhat reasonable even if you know they are wrong. I feel quite confident in this story, but it may change depending on feedback from the audience. A lot of other aspects of the game have changed over time, so for now, this is all I'm going to say about it.
Will you make videos on YouTube only about the characters?
Not sure about this one yet. I feel like there's a lot of other stuff to do before making videos only about the characters, but I may upload some cutscenes and similar stuff in the future.
Will there be minigames like part-time jobs in HeartStrings?
Not exactly part-time jobs, but the game will have a lot of minigames. These minigames can range from small sneaking segments to artistic minigames to pushing the button down multiple times minigames. I do think I'll take a lot of inspiration from Mario Party's game saga for the minigames, but that depends on the context admittedly. These minigames will be in the game to provide a richer experience for the player. For example, you can have a minigame where you have to follow the line of a figurine in a paper. This could be a minigame in the art club to relax your stress, but it can also be a minigame where you can bond with Hisoka. In fact, you play this skinny game. You will play a minigame like this on Wednesday of True Ending, but you can also play a similar minigame when you write a fake suicide note while murdering Kawa on Thursday. The minigames will have different uses depending on the context, but I do think they will make the experiences richer overall.
What is your favorite elimination method, your favorite character, and your favorite future implementation?
I sound like a psychopath saying this, but okay. My favorite elimination method definitely is befriending Kawa, since it leads to true ending. However, there is a close second that I'm considering, but I haven't written it as a definitive because it's extremely dark. At the end of the day, Kawa and Hisoka will have a unique situation that may lead to a unique elimination method. One of those situations is a dark room filled with pictures taken with an old camera. Fumeko would spy on the situation and find the perfect time to set the dark room on fire. As she does this, she could pretend to be Hisoka's savior, and as such Hisoka becomes dependent on her. It's an extremely dark ending, yet an interesting one. I do need to think about it a bit more though, but it is something that's been on my mind lately. As for my favorite character, I absolutely love Fumeko, but I think that's more because I'm biased. She was my first character ever designed for the game, so yeah, I think I may be biased. Oh, and by the way, every end of day unique elimination method leads to a different ending in the regular sandbox run outside of True Ending. So I'll let you guys talk about it in the comment section. And don't forget to add timestamp because if you don't, I'll be confused. Please!
How long will the game be?
It depends on you, mostly. Some endings are easier to achieve than others, but it depends on just how much you really want to play the game. True ending, I imagine it to be around 1.5 hours long, if not less. True ending is the longest ending, so I'll have to test a bit how players would enjoy this ending and overall the game having a mostly short time run if you only go towards one ending.
How can we help support you and the game's development?
You have 3 main ways to support both me and the game's development. First, you can donate to the Ko-fi linked in the description. Sometimes we do use the Ko-fi donations for emergencies, but we often try not to do it since our main job is YouTube, not game development. The Ko-fi donations are mostly saved for paying the volunteers monthly in the future, or again, emergencies. If you don't feel comfortable with that option, you can just watch the YouTube videos since that is our main source of money income. But if you want to do more, I may have the thing for you. I'm making a survey about some stuff regarding HeartStrings, Yandere Simulator, the audience, and more. You can find it in the description below. Thank you!
Why are you making videos about Yandere Simulator on your channel?
This is mostly because of what I mentioned earlier. YouTube is not my hobby, it's my job. Game development can't be my job because it doesn't make enough of an income for us to become our full-time jobs. So we're mostly focusing on YouTube. With that said, there's a lot more things behind the YouTube content creation thing, our lives and other stuff. So how about we enter in the next segment of the video, shall we? This month we had a few problems. A lot of team members got sick and couldn't work, so I had to find new people to help them or wait for them to feel better. March overall is a hard time of the year since a lot of people begin work, studies, or other kinds of real life stuff. As for me and my husband, a few things have happened. But before that, did you notice my VTuber model? I made it myself in 2 days. This model was not only fun to make, but it will also help the editing portion of the video. The VTuber model has a lot more movement than the stickers, so it will be used to make the process simpler for both the editors and myself. Every sticker will be used, but the model itself will make it a lot faster with less assets since the movement of the body itself can do a lot of the work. Not only this, but I've been thinking of selling VTuber model commissions to anyone who may like this one. A little bit of extra money is always welcome. This is just an idea, since it is a lot of work, but it can be used as emergency commissions as well. This model will also come in handy when I make live streams, and I may add a thing or two later considering I'm the artist and rigor. Most of my live streams happen at YouTube, which is the second point I wanted to talk about. As a lot of you may know, YouTube is my full-time job, and it'll be my husband's job too for a bit. He does want to have a different job in real life though, just in case this whole YouTube thing doesn't work. A lot of the videos about Yandere Simulator aren't out of spite towards the creator, and more so a way to monetize content to sustain ourselves while we work on the game. A lot of new people are joining the community, so I'll give a quick summary of why the game project even exists in the first place. In short, me and my back-in-the-day boyfriend were suffering an incredibly unfair situation when it came to money, betrayals, and so much more stuff. I made a video proposing a game inspired by Yandere Simulator, and I promised I would develop the game if people helped out with a money goal. The money goal was to pay rent, but we ended up using it to escape the country we were in and go back to my parents' house. The goal was met, and me and my boyfriend moved in with my parents as we began to develop the game. However, this location was never meant to be our permanent home. And as of the day of recording this video, we finally found a home for ourselves. It has everything we really need and it is inside of our budget. We also managed to buy 2 computers to upgrade our work area, since the last computer could only export at 720p, or else it would explode. It was very laggy and working on it was very difficult, but with the new equipment I've been able to do a lot of stuff faster, and so has my husband. This does mean we have to work extra hard in YouTube to maintain the new place, our food, and general expenses. But it's nothing me and my team can't handle. We will be moving soon, so we probably won't have that much time to make videos. But it'll be good, I'm sure of that. We've also decided to treat some of our physical problems, since I've had tooth cavities for a while now and I also have a chance of developing diabetes and other illnesses. PinkCat also has to check out his own examinations, since he has a lot of health problems he has never treated before. Physical health is not all, since me and my husband decided to go to therapy together. As you can imagine, the past few months haven't been easy on the mental health department, and so far, we feel motivated to continue working on YouTube and the game. We are also taking my old cat with us, so we will also have a bit of emotional support from the little grumpy dude. It's hard to receive a bunch of attention from the internet all at once, and I have to admit that it did hit me a lot more than it should have. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's definitely the moment I've had the most eyes on me at once. It is something I need to manage with time, but it has been a bit overwhelming. A lot of things have happened this month, and more often than not, I feel like weeks have happened in a single day. But sometimes it's important to just look back, relax for a moment, and think of everything done so far. I have a lot more plans for the future, but this video is already long enough. So I hope you keep following the game's development to see the current progress. Thank you for keeping an eye out for HeartStrings development. Remember to drink water, and see you in the next update. Goodbye!